Hey everybody, welcome to a fun episode of the Fast Lane Car, because today I've got Claire and her super cool WRX, and we're going to talk about what it's been like to own a WRX for a few years, why she bought it, what issues she's had, and what her plans are with it. So Claire, thank you for coming out.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing amazing. So thank you for bringing your WRX onto the channel and talking to us about what it's been like to own this car. So why Subaru? Why WRX?
I bought this car in 2018. It was used at the time because I always kind of dreamt of myself racing really fast down a forest road. And I think the lore of Subaru in that race world, in that rally race world, I don't know, just caught my inspiration. So I thought that it might be a good idea just to get into one.
So you bought this in 2018. What did you replace this with? Or what did this replace? What did you have before the WRX?
So I was driving actually a 2013 Prius C that I bought new off the lot, and at that time that car was the car for me. But I've always been into performance, and for me performance means doing the exact thing that the car can do the best. And so at the time that was a Prius, and now it's a WRX. That's
so cool. So you went from a new Prius to full-on rally mode.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, more or less.
So why did you go with the 2013? I know we were talking off camera. I think this was like one of the last years you were saying where you could get the hatchback. Was that like a big deciding factor?
Yeah, definitely. So I wanted as modern of a car as possible in 2018. And yeah, I mean the hatch just has that like cool sex appeal, and like everybody knows that that's the coolest way to go. Like, why would you have a trunk? If you have a Subaru, like, why should you have a trunk?
Did you want to find one that was stock? Did you want to find one that was modded? Talk to me about that.
I was okay with stock. Actually, I really wanted a sunroof but it's beautiful. But I didn't get that. But I did get one that came with someone who put on the mud flaps, and there's also a custom exhaust, so it sounds way cooler, and it looks really cool from the back.
Awesome. Now visually, it's pretty stock, except for the zip ties in the front.
Yeah.
What happened there?
Yeah, that's my mod. So when you send it pretty hard into a ditch, sometimes you catch the low end. Also, grocery store parking lots are not my friend. Anything that's like a curb or, you know, any kind of embankment at all, it's only got 6 inches of ground clearance, so so it's pretty easy to catch the front. But yeah, this is some people refer to them as drifter stitches, and I definitely have a lot of cred with high school boys in the area. many have stopped me and said, like, super cool, like you're either a drifter or a rally racer. And I'm like, maybe a little bit of both.
That's awesome. I love that so much. When you bought this, I mean, did you specifically want the Subaru? Did you look at like the Mitsubishi Evo, or did you look at anything like that?
No, I have to say, I went right for this one. I test drove a couple of these, and I want to tell you the test drive story because it kind of totally gave away what a nerd I am for this car.
Yeah, what happened?
So this is actually back in Oakland, California. So I looked at a couple online. They were all throughout the state. And I found one locally in Oakland, and I texted my friend. I was like, you know, dude, like, also a fellow car lover. I was like, come down and test drive it with me. You know, I don't want to do it alone.
Yeah.
And also the buying process, right, with used cars can be kind of tough. Yeah. So we went down and we drove it, and we got in and we're like trying to play it cool, like, you know, we're cool, like anything can happen. You know, this is not necessarily going to be the car for me. And we drove it and we just opened it up on the road, and it was so exciting. Like, just has such a beautiful acceleration and like feels so grippy and like low to the road. And we came back and we were just like stupid children, like ear to ear grin, like we couldn't get over it. And the car salesman was like, okay, so like, you know, you're into this? We were like, no, I'm fine. You know, but the adrenaline was there, and it just felt right. So I went with it.
So Claire, talk to me about the engine under the hood.
So this is a 2.5 liter flat 4 boxer engine with dual turbo, and you can see we have the intercooler up here to cool the air down as it comes into the turbo. So that kind of works to maximize the horsepower at the top end. So
I think stock these are like 265 horsepower, which is a lot for a small car. But why didn't you go for the STI?
Well, I actually drove an STI, and I thought that it was too fast.
Too fast?
Yeah, so the clutch is also really stiff, and I think just driving it as a normal daily driver, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I mean, a person has to be at the low end of operation. Like, you have to be able to go you know, grocery shopping. You have to be able to go frickin' Marshalls, you know, and not hit anything.
Right.
And at the same time be able to open it up, and I thought that this was the best compromise.
That's interesting. What a very responsible approach to car buying. Everybody else would be like, oh, I'm just gonna pay the extra money, get the extra horsepower.
I mean, you gotta know what you need, you know?
So this car also has the manual transmission. Do you like the manual? Is it pretty good?
Yeah, I mean, it feels really good to shift, but again, in first gear, you know, sometimes if the music is really loud, I tend to stall out because at an intersection, because I do it by hearing mostly.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's something some trouble I get into sometimes.
So Claire, you are sitting in the driver's seat now. Talk to me about the interior. What do you like and what do you not like so much?
Let's see. Well, I didn't really buy this car for the interior. It's actually not that comfortable, as you might imagine. Like, these seats are sort of like, you know, sort of like mock racing seats in a way. No lumbar support at all. And so driving cross country is not recommended, although I have multiple times.
So heater and AC, do they both work pretty well?
Oh yeah, that's been the only thing that I haven't had a problem with, actually.
Only thing you have or haven't?
Haven't.
Well, wow, okay.
Yeah.
So talk to me about that. What's gone wrong over the past 3 years?
A couple of things have gone wrong. So the power steering pump was leaking pretty immediately, and I think we got to Iowa and noticed that there was a leak and just like losing power steering.
So this was on your road trip?
Yeah, this was like the first trip cross country made in. I mean, if you want to test a car, you drive a cross country.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Anything else like major go wrong that you can remember?
Yeah, one of the wiring harnesses, and then there was a tire pressure sensor issue as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Anything like major mechanically, like with the clutch, the transmission?
No, all that stuff has been really solid.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
That's good. And the sunroof, the lack of sunroof hasn't been an issue?
I may actually cut one in.
Really?
Yeah, I think as soon as I'm done paying off the loan, I'm gonna get like a wrap and cut a sunroof.
You were gonna get some YouTube comments on that one. I'll tell you what. Let's go easy on her, folks. So Claire, you got the hatchback. Do you use the hatchback?
Oh my god, I use this car like a pickup truck. I mean, there's no other way to go than the hatchback.
What do you mean you use it like a pickup truck?
So check it out. So, you know, I bike. I've raced for a long time, but I'm now mostly into mountain biking. And I left it dirty just so you could see the full way.
Very good, yeah.
So like, check that out. I mean, I can take just one wheel off and pop it in there, and actually get multiple bikes at a time. I can also sleep, like I'm 5'6". I can sleep like fully lengthwise in here. It's a pretty nice setup.
Have you done all those? Have you
yeah.
slept at the back?
I have, yeah.
Do you like having it low to the ground and being a car versus like a little SUV?
Yes. Yes.
Cool.
I really like the cornering feel. It just feels like it's gripping like crazy, and you could just drive really fast.
So Claire is actually into rallycross, which is like a cooler version of autocross where you take typically like a Subaru, and you drive it really fast on dirt. But you were telling me you don't do it with this car.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I actually raced this car once, and had a bunch of people tell me, what are you doing?
Okay.
Like, number one, for a beginner, this car is too fast. With the turbo, you're kind of always in boost.
Interesting.
And so to understand how to get into the corners, how to approach it the right way, to actually learn like racing skills, yeah, it's a little bit too much power. And then also it's way more expensive to replace parts if they get bust. Like if you kind of like drop into the wrong gear and break the transmission, it's a lot of money.
So I've never done anything like rallycross. I mean, are you pretty hard on the car? Like, is it pretty common to be ripping off bumpers and getting punctured and stuff?
Yes. In the last race, which was last weekend, a guy completely blew his tranny by dropping into the
wrong gear. The wrong gear.
Yeah, and the front end again is so low, and you can just create really deep trenches and just like send it up onto the wrong spot.
Super interesting.
Yeah.
All right, top tip. So Claire, overall, are you happy with the WRX?
Yeah, I'm very happy.
Yeah, you think you're gonna hold on to it?
Yeah, I think I want to grow old with her.
Does she have a name? Have you named her?
Yeah, Crybaby.
Why Crybaby?
Well, because the license plate is Cry.
That's so clever.
Yeah.
That's really clever. So anything that you like are really frustrated with that you would change?
Oh man. I think the premium gas bothers me the most. I mean, it makes sense. The engine's gonna be awesome for a long time, but it really gets to you.
What kind of fuel economy do you think you get?
I know what I get, and it's 20.
Okay.
20 in the winter and like 25 in the summer.
And then what does it cost to fill up a tank typically?
About $55.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially as gas is getting more expensive.
Yeah.
So fuel economy, and then what's your favorite parts of the car?
Oh man, just driving too fast on mountain roads.
That's too funny. Yeah, I mean, it's a really cool car. Thank you so much for coming out and showing it to us. And let us know what you think in the comment section below. This has been Tommy and Claire. We'll see you guys next time.
See ya.